Hey, this is Michelle from Top 40 Strings, and this is my first video on sharing with you some tips that I have for playing the violin, because I know a lot of you have been asking me and wanting to get better. So I thought I would start at the beginning. What is the best way to start playing the violin? Good posture. Good posture, it not only allows you to play well, it also looks good. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to place your violin on your shoulder. So let me grab my violin. Ta-da! When I am teaching my students and I'm doing some talking, I ask them to put their violin in rest position. So what they do is you just tuck it right here, like that. Yeah? And then they listen to me talk, blah, blah, blah. I like to talk, I love to talk. So I go on for a bit and they hold it. But then it's time to put it in playing position. And then, so you grab it here and you place it on your shoulder. Now it's important not to tilt your head away, but actually either keep it straight or turn it toward the violin. So I like to do it like this. And you can adjust if it feels uncomfortable, if it feels like a bone is jabbing somewhere or it's hitting your collarbone, then feel free to adjust, because you don't want to feel those things. And sometimes you can adjust your shoulder rest to the way that you like it. But if it just feels sore or tired, that's okay to feel that way. It just means you need to develop the muscles for that. So what we want to try and do is hold it in place and then let go of our hand. Oh, I should mention, if you're trying this and you're a beginner, make sure you're in a carpeted area, just in case you drop your violin. You don't want to drop it on hardwood floors or cement. So there you go. So if you're starting out, just try to do it for 5 seconds. And then you can hold it and rest a little if you feel tired or a little bit tense. And then work your way up to 60 seconds. See if you can do this for a full minute. And your hands, you want them to be loose. You don't want to be like, I've seen some people, stay really tense, like their whole body is just trying to keep their violin in place and they feel so tense and nervous, and that's not good, because if you're tense for, even a short period of time, you get tired very quickly, and we want to be able to play violin for long periods of time. So like I said, just stay relaxed and loosey-goosey and all of that. One thing I should mention is how you will stand when you are playing the violin or practicing or even performing. Now, obviously you're my audience, where the camera is or where I'm looking at. So when you're practicing, imagine where your audience is. It's really important, because the thing is, when you're playing, you actually don't want to face your audience. You want to be angled at a 45-degree angle, because when you do that, when you place your violin on your shoulder, the violin is actually what faces the audience. You see these holes right here, they're called the F holes. The sound travels out from the F holes, and you want them, of course, to travel to your audience who's listening to you. Because if I was facing you and I had my violin like this, you can't really see my violin. The sound's going to be traveling in that direction, and that's kind of odd. That would be like if I was giving a speech or talking to people and I stood like this and you'd see the side of my head. When you're playing violin, people want to hear your sound. Yes, they want to look at you, but they want to hear your sound a little more than they want to see your pretty face. So we'll work on this. Do some fun stuff with your hands. I would just suggest you practice that until you can do this for a long period of time and stay relaxed and are able to keep your arms loose. And when I say a long period of time, I mean you can go for a long time and it doesn't feel like a balancing act, like it's really hard for you to do. You're developing the muscles here, and especially in your chin area. And try not to raise your shoulder. You want your shoulder to stay relaxed, nice and low. I like to compare playing the violin with ballet, because ballet, they're gorgeous and they have great posture and they look amazing. And so when you play the violin, you do want to look relaxed and you want to make it look easy. You don't want to look tense. Now I'm going to grab my bow and we will talk about how to hold your bow when you're playing the violin. So you can go ahead and put your violin down as well, and if you've got your bow, like I do, right here, we are going to do this. With your left hand, go ahead and hold the bow right here so that you have your right hand free to hold it in the right way. How you hold your bow determines how you're going to play, how you're going to make that sound on your violin and on the strings. So first, I would say the thumb will be bent. When I first started teaching, I told my students to curl the thumb, but then they would barely curl it, so now I just tell them to bend it, really bend it. And then you're just gonna stick it right here where this little groove is. Do you see that? Now it's important when you do that, don't stick your thumb all the way through. It should not go through. It should just tap lightly. You should not feel like you have a good grip. Like it should just slip right off. That's okay, you want that. So you've got that there. Then the middle two fingers, which is like your middle finger and your ring finger, should go right across from where your thumb is. Okay, just place them very gently. Now the pinky, I'm sure you've heard this many times if you've taken lessons, must stay curled, and you want to use the tip of your pinky and place it down right here. If you were to let go over here and let your right hand hold the bow entirely, the pinky is going to do all the work in holding the bow up. In fact, if I let go of the pinky, the whole bow should just fall down, because the pinky is really what is keeping the bow balanced. It will lift it. If you have to lift the bow, the pinky's gonna do that. So what does the pointer finger do? Not much at this point. It's just gonna lay down like this. You don't wanna wrap it around. Don't do that, but just lay it across. Later when you're bowing and you have to like press down, that's what the pointer finger is for. But overall, just remember that the pinky has to stay curled and you have to use the tip, and the thumb must be bent or curled. It's gonna feel really difficult at first, and if someone were to grab the bow out of your hand, they should be able to. You don't want it to be like, ooh, like that, because then you're too tense and it's like you're grabbing the bow and really tight. Now, if doing that was really hard for you, then you can practice on a pencil first, because a pencil is just like the bow. So all you have to do is just place your thumb here, the middle two fingers, pinky down, and then the pointer finger. So the reason why having a good bow hold is so important is because you actually want flexibility. I think a lot of people think, oh, you hold your bow like this and then it just stays like this. But watch my hand as I'm bowing from the frog to the tip. I didn't tune it yet. But did you notice that my pinky and my hand was changing shape the whole way through? You actually want that kind of flexibility. You don't want to stay rigid like a statue, because if you do, then that's what happens if you don't change your hand shape. So those are the tips that I have for you in this video. If you're thinking, what? I've been playing for 2 or 3 years already. Why do I need to focus on posture? Let me just say that posture is something that you're always going to be working on and always trying to find ways to improve. I kept working on my posture well into college and had to do major changes to the way that I was playing the violin. I had my elbow up high, I was playing really awkwardly, and the way that I fixed it was, well, my teacher instructed me on the things that I needed to change, and I would go and lock myself in a practice room and stand in front of the mirror and just adjust every little thing, and I would be there for hours. But you know what? I loved it because I loved seeing the immediate changes. Not that immediate, but I loved seeing the progress over time, and you can sense that. If you just commit some time to working on that posture, you will see improvements. So hopefully this has been helpful, and I will continue to be sharing more tips with you, and feel free to leave any comments, ask me any questions. Thanks for watching.